Still surreal that we made it past, isn't it? That we made it past this hell of a life we have to live. And yet here we are, baby. Scrounging a victory right from the jaws of defeat. I've seen those eyes before. You want to ask me a question and I wish I could answer it. Trust me, if I could, I would say it right now and here. It's not that simple, you know. What I'm asking for, what I'm telling you, isn't so easy. If I go too far, it'll trigger something, baby. I don't want you to think about that or feel it or anything like that. Because let me tell you, that's the worst case scenario. That's the one that never works out for the best. Even then, you're a terrible liar, you know that? You suck at lying beyond anything else because I've come to understand you. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, even if the birds are chirping outside and you can hear them, does it really matter? Sometimes I wonder if I made the right choice with you. Tagging you along for my own selfish greed. Do you regret not passing with your ex? Maybe, just maybe, I'm more messed up in the head because I can't bring myself to see it as anything other than good. Sure, I bear responsibility, but when I look at you like this, when we've made it so far like this, how am I supposed to feel otherwise? Am I really supposed to regret? Do you regret it, baby? I don't think you would when you kiss me like that. You know, you looked so happy when I walked through the door. You teared up like you were the happiest in the whole wide world, and you might just have been at that moment. Because what's left of it ain't happy, baby, and also, it's time I was honest with you about the state of affairs, what the plan is. So the doppelgangers function in a way similar to a hive. Think of them as ants to the queen. At least I didn't have to explain it to you, spell it out for you. You at least got that going for you, don't you? Listen, this is, for all intents and purposes, an impossible task that I'm trying to drag you into. So why do you look so happy about it? Maybe you want some revenge on them. Uproot them at their source, huh? You say once we get rid of that one, they all melt down, return to what they really are. Nothing but fakes. Nothing but walking zombies in the worst possible way. And every time they think they're gonna get away with it, well, guess what? They won't even have a brain anymore. That's what the queen functions like. Now, I haven't pinpointed the location, but I had someone working undercover, blending in with them. Half of how I got this information is because they got close, real close. There's a place deep below the surface. Miles, I'm talking. Really deep. Really dangerous. I'm not a big fan of splunking. You either, huh? Well, let's just say it's half the problem. The queen has a few roots in the area. This'll prove the theory once and for all if we can get rid of them. You see, the clowns work as a proxy, right? They're the warning sign, the alarm bells ringing, and once they get set off, the whole area goes on fire. That's where the dangerous doppelgangers start showing up, and that's what we have to contend with right now, ones that I can't simply beat in a fight. No matter what you think of me, No matter how strong you see me in those beautiful eyes, I'm still just one man. And one man isn't perfect. Not even with the perfect spouse, pretending to be perfect in all this bullshit that we subject ourselves to. But that's fine, because we have an equalizer. One thing they hate the most is simple. Fire. Something as simple as this right here. This nice little container filled with gasoline. We can make it into something that ends the lives of all of those fake people walking around. We'll be able to see it in real time as this zone turns into only real people left, and we'll see what happens after that. I know what you're thinking. You're wondering why I'm doing all this, because of what I am, because of who I am. But doesn't it make perfect sense? I'm nothing like them. I'm a man seeking revenge. It's not that hard to understand, honey. And if it is, then so be it. Guess you'll misunderstand me a bunch, huh? I like that side to you, though. That wanderlust reminds me of me from 5 years ago. And even then, I think you got me beat a little bit, babe. The way things are going, it's gonna get real dangerous real fast, and I don't want to lose you. Yeah, you can call me sentimental, you can call me whatever you want, but don't call me dead just yet. I don't want to hear any arguments. Do I make myself clear? No reckless behavior, no putting your life at risk. This is do or die. But it's not that we're going to do the latter. We're going to sneak in. Make ourselves look like we're just doing the normal business. We're already out of place, you see. Everyone here is a cog in a wheel, and all the wheels are turning in this big machine, pretending, making the caricature of how a city should look. But the problem is we have to sneak in without triggering the alarm bells, look like the perfect couple, hope that they don't have perfect memory, and hope that all this perfection chasing is their biggest weakness. And we have a trump card, babe. In that little book that I gave you, turn to page 43. Ah, yes, my favorite part. See this? This is what happened to my friend, but it taught us a bittersweet lesson. You see, this leg of the queen, hand, whatever you want to call it, it lives nearby. It acts and breathes just like anything else, but it's a little bit different, you see. Behind closed doors, it isn't so perfect. We have to stalk and find and end that nasty little thing. That way, all of its little helpers go to hell. No, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to make it out to be easy. Even if we have the means and to know its weakness, it's not enough. You see, once we trip the alarm bells, they'll be on us like ants on a fresh meal. They move faster than a vehicle. The top speed of some of the doppelgangers has been clocked in at roughly 125 miles per hour. They're not slouches, and they're evolved in a certain way that makes them deadly. Their hands capable of ripping, and the ones that aren't imperfect, well, they're even more dangerous. The closer they are to resembling us, the worse it is for us. The more dangerous they are if they realize they've been caught, and if they realize we're anywhere near the brain. Well, it's curtains for us, babe. We might as well smoke one last cig and then say our goodbyes, because they'll be on us so quick we won't be able to see them coming. By the time they hit us, it'll be the end. But that's why we're not gonna let that happen. It's pretty simple, isn't it? We're gonna be one step ahead of them, use their own alarm bells against them, and I'm going to make them come to me. I know what your face is saying, the questions in your eyes. Don't worry, it's going to be a distraction. Remember the fire thing? It's pretty simple, really. We're gonna light up a place, making them think that we thought that was the hive mind. It should make the actual hive mind respond to it. A criminal always returns to the scene of a crime, right? So they'll set a trap for us. And of course, after their little utopia is broken in, that's when we strike. We follow the brains home. You see, my friend, God bless his soul, he didn't die for nothing. He put up a good fight and managed to get this to me by using the doppelgangers like little pigeons, carrier pigeons with no brains. You see, in maintaining that status quo, he found out that the hive minds, the ones that control every other doppelganger, that gives them the orders to even breathe, the bastards won't even remember, and they'll all be dead in 15 minutes after. That's how we do this. They have a mark on the back of their neck. It's not very big. We'll be in the crowd. I know what you're saying. It's deadly. It is deadly. More than deadly. It's flirting with death in the worst way. But even then, we don't really have a choice, because we're sitting ducks here. Guarantee in 2 days flat they'd discover we weren't part of the system and send some nasty fellas knocking on our door. But something tells me they wouldn't even knock. They'd just barge right in. And that would be wraps for us, wouldn't it, Tuts? Now, this is gonna happen pretty quick. And I can't promise it's a foolproof plan. I don't know how smart these things are. But if they really don't play fair, then we might be in the hornet's nest without a bee suit, so to speak. And if it comes down to that, run back here, hope for the best, and follow the notebook as best as you can. Look, honey, we're gonna use our Milkman, and we're gonna get close. Then we go on foot. You're going to have the mollies in your purse. Don't let anyone see them. Luckily, you've got a big enough purse. There's a small enough molly to make things work. Let's just hope they don't have any fire extinguishers on hand, or things might get tricky. But something tells me these bastards never even thought that this was a possibility. Their little perfect world, they think we appreciate it. They think we'll say thank you for taking over. Thank you for replacing us. Thank you for taking over the whole damn world. And instead, we'll thank them in our own fiery way, won't we? It's the only way. We have to show them. With fire and brimstone. No matter how much they struggle or wallow. You only ever see me smile, honey, when I'm getting that sweet, sweet revenge on them. And that's on it being personal. I'm not gonna say I'm above it. My emotions are twisted. My heart isn't the softest, and I'm sure you've seen it. But even if it's not, so what? What then? Who's gonna stop me? You sure as hell ain't, 'cause you're on board with me. And they will take their cocky little faces and stare at it, trying to find us. But if we mirror them, and we make it convincing, chances are the hive mind ain't gonna know. Those little proxies that control this whole area, maybe even the whole city, they must sure as hell have a rude awakening. Because I'm not gonna let them rest another day, have another restful sleep on my watch when they're responsible for ruining our world. The one that was ours before it was theirs. I know they have a hierarchy, that they're the evolution, they're the future that we always desired. What do you think they'll say? What do you think they'll think when they finally taste a little fear of their own, when they wail in disgrace of their very first fumble? Though I guess I would call it their second. Their first was making an enemy of me and those I held dear, taking them away. And for the record, you have my word, darling, that I won't have you be another avenging story, another notch on the bedpost of people I'm cutting them off for. No, you're more special than that. Now, before that, I happen to know you haven't slept real well. I happen to have paid attention that you didn't get a wink of sleep last night, that you're hanging on by a half adrenaline, half love-fueled gaze. I can't tell. That's how'd you manage? And at this point, you know as well as I do, we can't do this tonight. We'll be fine. For tonight at least. As much as I'd like to follow through with the plan, right now, hell, I want it yesterday. If we do it and we rush, inevitably we'll make a mistake. Clumsiness follows those who invite it. And I'd rather not waste our big chance. We're so close right now to actually doing something to disrupt this messed up little caricature of humanity. That making a brash mistake is not on my to-do list, darling. No. You need to relax. Come here. I told you, didn't I? I take responsibility for not just your well-being, but your heart too. You're not alone yet, and I intend to keep it that way. And if I intend to do that, I need to step up and be the man that is more than your husband in name. I get it. All of this is messy. My attempts at comforting suck. My hand on the back of your head, just a paltry little thing, but maybe the roughness has its own appeal in your heart. Maybe you need someone rough like me. Maybe your life was too soft, and that's why you have that wanderlust in your eyes I mentioned earlier. Maybe that's why now, what you need most is someone to keep you in line, to keep that mind from racing with all those what-ifs. Because, baby, I'm not a what-if. I'm a done deal. And the day that I become something else is the day they're all gone. A memory, bitter as they may be. It suits them, doesn't it? Instead of their reign of stupidity, this copycat lifestyle needs to end. And you and I, well, we're safe right now. I want us to be safe all the time. I'm sick of living in this constant state of following rules I never agreed to. And I know you are too. Even if you haven't experienced it nearly as long. So what? What does it really matter? What matters to me is that you get that rest you need. No, why am I not surprised you would say that? Baby, listen to me. Let's I take responsibility for that too. If I didn't, then you wouldn't get what you need from your husband, would you? Shh, no more excuses.